In the next quarter of an hour, we will show you how you can quickly and easily implement multi-factor authentication in all your legacy web applications. After a few minutes theoretical introduction to our solution, I will practically secure user access to 3 different types of apps using various second factors. Then I will be joined by Anthony, our CMO, and we will answer the most frequently asked questions. Growing amount of data in the computer systems and its importance leads to more and more break-ins. Probably we all have heard about Colonial Pipeline in US and Irish Health Service, just to name the recent significant ones. Of course, we don't know the attack vectors used there, but because, according to statistical reports, over 80% of the IT security incidents have their roots in stolen or cracked passwords, it's not surprising the organizations worldwide implement second factor authentication, 2FA in short. Many of them, big and major ones, have complex IT environments, so sometimes they cannot or just don't want to change huge number of existing web applications. Additional problem is the time as well as the risk related to such project. So we created a solution for them, allowing the implementation of 2FA without any modification in the existing software, quickly and easily. How does it work? We put Secfense between the users and the applications we protect. Our broker constantly monitors the connection. From the user's perspective, it just adds second factor during the login phrase. From the web app's point of view, it works as a reverse proxy, but connects only those of the users who have previously authenticated in proper way. The data flow from the user's workstation has to be redirected to Secfense on a level of load balancers or in DNS. I will use the second method in my demo. Our customers mainly utilize load balancers like F5 or HA proxy, in the ways pictured on the schemas below. We deliver Secfense as a virtual appliance or, if requested by the customer, as a physical machine. I mentioned the second factor a few times, so let me explain what methods we offer. First of all, we support an open standard called FIDO2, Fast Identity Online, promoted by World Wide Web Consortium, who takes care for the web development, as well as such prominent companies like Microsoft, Apple, and Google. It means we use what is natively provided by Windows, macOS, iOS, and Android. For example, you can see a screenshot from Windows Hello showing face recognition, fingerprints, and PIN. Additionally, we support hardware keys called U2F Universal Second Factor and time-based one-time passwords, TOTP. Both are the open standards too. TOTP is a more secure variant of OTP because generated codes are valid for a few dozen of seconds only. The architecture of software allows us to add the other less popular methods if necessary. As promised on the beginning, I will secure 3 different types of web applications. Modern one with dedicated login page and SSL, the older one using basic web authentication, and finally something without SSL at all, what we will equip with the encryption. Having 3 scenarios, I will use this opportunity and show the usage of also 3 different second factors: hardware key, Windows Hello fingerprints, and TOTP. In the first scenario, we have Amazon. It's not legacy application, but a perfect example where we cannot modify the app and even don't know how it is built. Current login process looks in familiar way. To introduce second factor, first I need to route the connection to Secfense, what I did in my local DNS service. Second, I am connecting to the broker. And creating the app representation. Let's call it Amazon UK. Domain name is www.amazon.co.uk. Let's Secfense resolve an IP address. Since I want to use hardware key as a second factor here, let's choose such option. And finally, I turn on the learning mode to allow Secfense recognize the login sequence used by Amazon. Done. Back to the app and a little help for the broker. By default, it observes the user called init user. So let's log in that way. As expected, no success. But if we come back to Secfense and refresh the screen, we see it learned something. Let's apply this knowledge and exit learning mode. At this moment, we have fully implemented strong authentication in Amazon, because if we log in again in a normal way, we are asked for the second factor. We are choosing security key, putting it, tapping, and voila, we are logged in with two factors. In the second example, we have basic web authentication. Originally, it looks like this. I change the connection path and let the Secfense learn the app, exactly like in the case of Amazon. And now we can log in more secure way. The only difference here is I'm using a fingerprint reader built in my computer. In the third and the final scenario, we have my home router exposed to the internet. We can log in and see that the connection is not secure since the firmware doesn't support SSL. Secfense will secure this application in the same way, by rerouting and learning. The only difference here is we specify the ports during creation of the app representation. 443 as a default inbound with SSL encryption, and 8080 as used by my router. When we connect to my home router again, forcing encryption, we get another second factor related prompt. In this scenario, we have chosen TOTP, time-based one-time passwords, generated on another device, in mobile app in this case. I have this application already installed, so I am scanning the QR code and entering 6 digits displayed on my phone. Done. I'm logged in. In the last example, we have used Google Authenticator, but we are working on a mobile app just asking if it is you who are trying to log into protected app. This step will eventually lead us to the passwordless authentication. To sum up, what Secfense offers is rapid easy deployment, just placing the broker in network environment and rerouting incoming connection through it. You can find on the market the solutions promising easy redevelopment of existing applications. In the case of Secfense, it's not necessary at all. Use by us architecture allows to implement second factor in whole organization. We are 2FA agnostic, we base on open standards and can use anything. Secfense offers additional features, for example, micro-authorization, deeper approach to sensitive data and user access levels, or full SAR protection, one more layer of security. Last but not least, we expand our solution and work, for example, towards so-called passwordless authentication where the passwords are not important.